Whew, trauma is a huge field. In a nutshell, for our purposes, when we have a thought that's coupled with an emotion, it turns into a belief. The beliefs are our hooks to make us behave like a robot, obeying our mind, obeying the shoulds and the should nots, the things that we thought will keep us safe. So if there's trauma in our body, and that's where we keep the score. If there's trauma experiences from the past held in our body, and somebody can say, hey, I've no trauma in my body, and it's like, well, did you fall off a bicycle ever? How did that impact on you? And so everybody has trauma. We're not so fortunate like many animals that dispel trauma as they go. No, we get PTSD. To minimal or maximal effects, it's there in everybody's system. So every emotional reaction that we have can usually find its root in a trauma that's still in our body. When we are reactive, we learned how to be reactive from trauma. So to have a thought that's not automatically coupled with an emotion. And some people tell me, no, the emotion comes first and then the thought. It's like, I smell trauma. There will always be a thought before an emotion. However, people were convinced that the trauma, that the emotion comes first, only because the trauma imprint is so strong that we miss the thought. Because we're automatically using our nervous system to come in with a response to help us to respond to a situation. But invariably, a trauma response is inappropriate. It's inappropriate for the stimulus. So that's an interesting thing to look at. Is your response appropriate for the stimulus that came at you? And try not to justify it. Be brutally honest here. Invariably, it will be trauma that is a learned response in the system. And there's nothing to do but to learn how to relax the nervous system. And awareness on a traumatic response is the first step. It's like, yep, over the top there. My response was over the top. All right, it was internal. I bluffed it very well on the outside, but it was over the top inside me. Okay, that comes from trauma. Can I relax? Where did I learn that first? Where was the first time that I had that response and I thought it was okay? Because it probably worked the first time, the second time, the 10th time. It's not working now. When you're on a spiritual path, a traumatic response doesn't work. And so releasing the trauma, having our bodies free of that, so that we can stay in the relaxed inner stillness. Because if there's trauma in your body, you ain't going to want to stay in fearless freedom inside. You just can't, because it's not safe. Because you've got to be watching out to see where danger is. That's the dictate of trauma.